Hi, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on economics and international business, studying economics and international business in Germany. My name is Georgi. I know you know me, many of you, if you are new, welcome. So I will be the one who will be hosting / moderating the webinar today. So the least interesting person for you today, because we have much more interesting people. We have several guests from several German universities who will be presenting some interesting programs for you. So long story short, let me quickly introduce to you some things about MyGermanUniversity, some important details that I think they are important for you, generally about studying in Germany, and then I will invite our professors and our guests to the floor. So let me quickly share with you my screen and we can kick off. Yes, so here is our topic, as you already know, and about MyGermanUniversity. So what you should know about us is that we are Germany's largest database of English taught study programs. So if you go to mygermanuniversity.com, you will be able to find over 2,300 programs both on bachelor and on master's level. And also we have a new feature. You can also find some short courses and language courses. So yeah, on the left-hand side, you can see the small excerpt of our study finder, which is something that you would, I think, would be really helpful for you. So to put it simply, our mission is to help international students like you on their way towards studying in Germany. And exactly this is our study finder is one of the ways to do that. So to help you. Another way of helping you is through writing up our articles. Oops, sorry. Yes. So for today, if you go to MyGermanUniversity, you can see that we have over 70 comprehensive articles, which touch upon various topics like rankings, uni assist, visa, and so on and so forth. Lots of topics. I would strongly suggest you, if you have any questions regarding this type of topics, to read our articles for sure. And the third way of helping you is through conducting our webinars. So we have approximately 150 webinars per year. The topics also vary. It can be scholarships, application strategies, also subject webinars like the one we have today. So yeah, you can sign up for all the webinars that are already planned by going to mygermanuniversity.com and to our webinar section. So there you can find all the webinars that are up and coming. And yeah, we are based in Hamburg, but only a few of us are in Hamburg actually, because we are quite an international team. All over, we are in different cities and towns of Germany and also all over the world. We have people, we have our teammates who are based in China, in Spain, in Brazil, etc. So yeah, all over the world. So that was about MyGermanUniversity. Let me quickly now introduce the agenda before I move to another part that I wanted to share with you. So yeah, as you may know already, we will have three presenters from FAU University of Erlangen-Nürnberg, School of Business, Economics and Society, and also from Jade Hochschule. So Professor Dr. Johannes Rincke, Professor Dr. Dirk Holtbrügge, and Nicole Kania will be your presenters. And as you can see, this really good balance. We'll not only have master's programs, but we also have the bachelor level program as well for you. But before we move to this interesting part, let me quickly tell you some things. So there are two databases that I would like you to know about. First of all, if you are more into the German taught study programs and you're interested in German taught study programs, then I would say Hochschulkompass would be your stop. But if you are more into the English taught study programs, then I would say MyGermanUniversity and our study finder would be of a great help for you. So if you go to our study finder, you will be able to find almost 300 degree programs for economics and international business. And you can see that 64 of them will be bachelor, 217 will be master, and absolute majority of these programs are English only, which means that you do not need any knowledge of German. For those who are not sure yet what to expect from German universities when it comes to studying economics or international business, so you are not sure what it is about, I would strongly suggest you to visit our subject pages. So there you can find out, have a broader picture of what to expect from German universities who are offering this kind of program. So what are the rankings of these universities? What are the tuition fee ranges that you would expect, or application, admission, or language requirements? So all of these are really nicely and concisely put into the subject pages. And I will shortly share with you also the links to the subject pages. And yeah, for those who are not yet sure what it is about to study these subjects in Germany. Our tip, of course, would be, yes, you should look for the right university profile and study program. Everyone wants that, but sometimes not everyone managed to do that. Our suggestion would be, we've heard many times from students that they are searching for universities purely based on ranking or purely based on city name. So, okay, I want to study in Berlin and Munich only because they have the best universities. I agree, they have really great universities there, but they are not only, Germany is not only about Berlin and Munich. There are much more cities and towns with great universities where you can get the top quality education. So you should not be guided only by these quantitative metrics or those popularity metrics. I don't know. So be more clever, smarter than that, and diversify your search much more. This would be my suggestion. I came also as international student in Germany once, so I know what I'm talking about. So, and last but not least, there are two university types that I would like you to know about. The first type is Universität type of university. So, and if you go to our study finder, you can also filter for the programs which are offered only by this type of university. And you will be able to find 140 programs in these subjects, like economics, international business, or related subjects. And also the second type of university is University of Applied Sciences, and it has various names in German. You can see not really easy ones, but you can try to read them out. So yeah, and we also have a filter for that. You can also find only those programs that are offered by this type of university, and you'll be able to find over 100 programs in these subjects. By the way, today on our webinar, we have both types of universities present, which is another cool thing. So now you would ask me, okay, Georgi, University of Applied Sciences, what does it matter? We don't have it in our country. And most of you, I would say, would say it. I was also this kind of person who didn't understand first the difference, but actually you should not really worry about that, because the key difference I would like you to know is in research focus, in the focus maybe, I would say. So if you are more into research and theory in general, then this Universität type of university would be your stop. But if you are more into application and practice, then I would say the University of Applied Sciences would be more of your stop. So this is the key difference that I would like you to know about. But if you are more interested in more of the differences, let me know, and I will try to provide the information via email or other sources. So last, and I'm finishing with that. Again, regarding your search, please be more diverse and flexible also while name in terms of wording. So the programs can have a bit different names rather than really strictly one type of naming that you are searching for. And so maybe name would be a bit different, but the curriculum would be the same that you were searching for. So to be sure that you do not miss any opportunities and any programs that are really best fitting for you, be more flexible in this regard as well when you are searching. Be flexible more while typing in during your search of the program. Okay, so that was all from my side, and we can now jump into our interesting part. So yes, we are moving to more or less to the southern part of Germany, to FAU Erlangen-Nürnberg, and we have Professor Dr. Johannes Rincke, who will be presenting to you a master's program in economics. Let me stop sharing my screen and invite Professor Rincke to the floor.
Thanks for this great invitation. My name is Johannes Rincke. As Georgie has already said, I'm a professor here at our Department of Economics and Business and Society in Nuremberg, and it's a pleasure for me to tell you a little bit about what we have to offer. Now let me share my screen with you. I'm the program coordinator of our Master of Sciences in Economics at FAU. And as I said, it's a pleasure to tell you a little bit about what we have to offer. This is just a quick overview of what you have to expect. I will introduce the program very shortly at a glance, then talk a little bit about the target group whom we are looking for. So this is about you potentially. Then, of course, few details about the study program. So what you have to expect when studying with us for 2 years. And then that might be of interest to some of you, how to apply, how to get into that kind of program, which is pretty easy in the end. And then I will briefly wrap up, talk a little bit about what to do after graduation, so career path and so on, and then summarize why I think that studying with us could be a great idea. So, well, what is this program about? This is a modern international master's degree program. It is pretty much oriented towards the international audience. And that is always a good thing, because what has been looked at internationally is something that you can rely on, right? The standards are international. The level of the teaching is at an international level. It's pretty much what you could expect in many other places. And that gives you security that you are doing the right stuff. We are focused here in Nuremberg at applied and empirical economics. So that is a distinction to many other programs. So if you are interested in thinking about applied economic problems, policymaking, analyzing economic data, making sense of data, and giving advice to firms, maybe to governments, how to, well, steer an economy or organizations in an economy, then I think we have a lot to offer. Importantly, the program can be studied fully in English. We also have some German courses if you want, but there's a large variety of courses, and many of our students don't speak any German, and this is a program designed for them. The student body is pretty international. So in the last cohort that started in October last year, we have 2/3 of international students. And the rest is German-speaking students. So we are very proud of that. And importantly, the training at our department, in our school, is in small to medium-sized groups. So when you start into the program, expect to be in groups of, let's say, 40 or maybe 50 students. But then later on, in more specialized courses, you might easily end up in a seminar with just 10 students or so. We support our students to go abroad for a term, and we have lots of partner universities across the globe who take our students, and that's just great. And I just can recommend to do that to all of our students. We also have things like an internship program where we help students to find internships at selected partner institutions, also giving them credits for that kind of internship. So that means we pretty much, think about practical orientation during your studies. And very importantly, in my experience as a coordinator, you won't get lost when studying with us. And that means, I, as a coordinator, and my team, we will take care of you. You will have, if you want, close contact with faculty, lots of, many people working here, and of course with the other students. And so we make sure that nobody gets lost. And I can tell you, for many international students, this is quite a hurdle, going to another country, starting to study. And I think we have a pretty good track record that we help our students a lot in handling this. So who's the target group for our program? You should be, of course, highly motivated to do that. You should have completed or are about to complete a bachelor's degree, optimally in economics, but also related fields are welcome. So business administration would be one of, we have many applicants who did business administration in their bachelor's degree. And of course, you are the right one for us if you want to obtain a top education in economics at an international level, with a special focus on applied stuff, modern data analysis, thinking through real economic problems. And of course, you should enjoy an international and diverse, truly diverse environment. And if you can, check all those points, you should carefully think about applying. Well, the 2-year program at a glance, and that is pretty much, following the standard of many, many international programs. in terms of the structure, not in content. I think we are pretty special in that respect, but in terms of overall structure. So in the first term, it's 6 compulsory modules that you are expected to take. You see the list on the slide. I don't have to read that. So that is just the foundations of modern economics, and we basically make sure that all the students are well equipped to do the more specific things in the second and third term. And in these terms, you are expected to select 12 elective courses, and you're totally free to do that. So you can really think about your special fields of interest and do that. And there's a huge variety of courses at our department. And in the fourth term, you will then write your master's thesis, which is between 3 and 6 months. Regarding the second and third term, in building up something that is really your own stuff, what you are interested in, to help you in getting ahead in that direction, we structured our program around 5 fields of specialization that give you a pretty good idea of what this is about. And this is labor economics, so everything which has to do with the labor market and personnel economics. Then public economics, everything which has to do with the government and the function of the state in a market economy. Then macroeconomics and finance. Obviously, this is the macroeconomic questions, growth, inflation, monetary policy, and everything which has to do with the financial sector, banking and insurance. Then we have health economics, obvious what this is concerned about, and health and energy markets, which is a hugely important topic nowadays. Everything which has to do with transformation, basically all economies worldwide are in terms of decarbonization and much more. Importantly, if you study with us and you do at least 3 courses in one of these specializations, this will be shown on your final transcript of record, so you can document that you are a specialist in these fields when applying to a job after graduation. What else do we have to offer? Well, a lot, and I can only mention a few things here. We do an annual field trip with our students. This year we will go to Berlin and visit different institutions, talk to people, try to get our students into internships at those institutions, and also have fun, I think. So this is great, and we do this every year to different places in Germany. And also we have been to Brussels, for instance, also. So this is great. We help our students to find internships at selected partner institutions. This is a number of really, top tier research facilities, for instance, or the Bundesbank or the European Central Bank, that kind of level where we help our students to get into those institutions. We have a variety of seminars that give you either practical experience or seminars with more, research focus. And this is more than you can do, I can promise. You can do your master thesis with external partners, these firms, also research institutes and other external partners that are interested in collaborating with us and you ultimately when doing your final master thesis. As I said, these fields of specialization give you a focus on specific occupational fields and job markets early on and throughout your studies. And I think that helps our students a lot to get oriented what the right job might then be after graduation for them. Well, it's truly international. The student body, the program, you can go abroad and stuff like that. And we also have much more like a mentoring program, taking care of everybody, regular meetings with all our students and the coordination team, and so on and so forth. How to get admitted? Well, you should have a bachelor's degree, as I said, in economics or related field. You should have a solid background in economic theory and as well as quantitative courses. So that means statistics, mathematics, econometrics potentially. And our main admission criteria is very simple. We follow a score system, and if you have a sufficiently high score, you will get admitted. And into the score counts for the overall score counts your overall GPA your average grade at your bachelor degree, in your bachelor degree, the number of economics and quantitative courses. So whenever you do something that is core economics, mathematics, statistics, econometrics, that will help you into the program. And eventually, finally, a letter of application where you elaborate a little bit about your motivation and why you want to study with us. And then you might also end up in an admission interview potentially. Admission is super easy. You need to have completed at least 135 ECTS or equivalent in terms of your home country currency, how credits are counted. You might enroll before fully completing your bachelor's degree if you want. This year's application deadline is end of May, so there's some time left. And then, well, it's super easy. We have a fully online application system. It's called Campo. And you can just go there and put up your stuff. You don't have to send any papers anymore. And so it's really easy. And admitted students are informed by end of July, the latest, but for most, we are much faster. So if you apply sort of sometime in May, most of those students will hear back from us in June, sometime in June. So after graduation, well, there's a lot to do with what you can learn with us, I think, and we are very proud of our recent placement record. Our students after graduation basically work everywhere, many of them in other countries, many of them, of course, in Germany, and many of the students come to Germany to enter the German labor market, which is, of course, a very attractive market for many students. There's no specific focus. Our students after graduation work for big companies, small firms and startups. They work for international organizations. They also do research, many of them, at universities and research facilities in Germany, but elsewhere. And so this is extremely broad, I would say, and this is one thing we are very proud about. And I think if you want to summarize, I think it's fair to say that our students after graduation get jobs where they are paid for things that they learned here at our department. And this is addressing applied questions of economics using up-to-date economics and specifically modern data analysis. And if this is what you are after, I think you will very likely find a good job after graduation. Or you could go on and do a doctoral degree. Many of our students do that. We have I think also very good placement record in that respect. And of course, as a professor, I am very sympathetic to our students who have that academic kind of ambition. We have a lot more to offer, scholarships that go to our best students if they are interested in continuing with a doctoral degree, many jobs that are offered also to students while they're still studying. So it's pretty much that you can do during your studies and after that. Well, few points to conclude. Why do at least I think that studying the MSc at FAU is a good idea? Well, it's modern. It's international throughout, program, contents, audience, everything, language, of course. We offer a wide range of topics organized around those specializations. So it's a lot, but it's well structured, which is important to get an idea of what you want to do. Then we focus on what there is demand for. And this is certainly today applied stuff and working with data, understanding data, structuring data, making sense of data. This is what you learn when you do study with us. You won't get lost. You will be in touch with me, the coordinators, faculty. You will, if you want, find a job, hopefully at the department as a student, and so on and so forth. You will, learn in small to medium-sized groups, which is important. You will find friends, and you will find excellent learning conditions generally. You will have the internship program, field trips, external partners, and so on. It's basically impossible to do it all in 2 years. That's all the stuff that we have to offer. So that's it basically. And obviously, I'm happy to take questions at the end in the Q&A session. So thanks for the moment for listening and for being here. Thanks. So I stop sharing my screen and I hand over back to, I think, you, Georgie, right?
Yes, thank you very much, Professor. That was really wonderful. You provided, I think, all the key information that students should know, but there are some questions I collected and I will address them towards the end. Thank you very much. Okay, then now let us move forward to our next speaker. We are staying in the same city, same university, and but the program is a bit different. It's about international business studies, and we have Professor Dr. Holtbrügge who will do the presentation. So let me stop sharing the screen and invite Professor to the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to talk a bit about our program, the Master in International Business Studies. The Master in International Business Studies is really an international program. I will show you more about this later. But of course, the first question that you typically is asked is, why should I apply for this program? Maxim, would you please continue with the slides? We have three coordinators of the program. So if you have any questions after this presentation, please write an email either to me, to my colleagues Laura Kirster, or to Maxim Grip, and we will be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay, so we have prepared a very short presentation, four chapters: why apply, what is the MIPS program structure, how to apply, what are the selection criteria, and maybe we have time for Q&A at the end. So why should you apply? I think my colleague Johannes Rincke has already mentioned a number of very important points why we think that FAU and Nürnberg is the place to be. We were named the most innovative university in Europe in the last couple of years, and also our international programs always receive very high rankings, and this is definitely something that many of you consider when are asking yourself, why should I apply it and which university is the best one? As I already mentioned, the MIPS is really an international program, and international means that it's not 90% German students and some foreign students. The students that participate in the MIPS program come from all over the world. Currently, we have 63 students from 27 countries, and you can see here from all parts of the world. So this makes this program really international, and I think you will make a lot of intercultural experience. We have a lot of group works where you need to team up with other students from various parts of the world, various languages, and this makes it, I think, very special. One advantage of studying the MIPS program in Nürnberg is definitely the number of interesting companies in the Nürnberg metropolitan region. You may know, of course, companies like Adidas, or Siemens, or Puma, which have their headquarters very close to our main building. But there's also a large number of small and medium-sized companies, so-called hidden champions. And many of the MIPS graduates and many of the MIPS students work during the program or later in one of these companies. So fascinating employment opportunities also for you as students of this program. Some words about the MIPS structure. The program has three parts: core courses, area studies, and the master thesis. In the core course area, by the way, all the lectures and all the courses here are offered in English. In the core course area, we have currently 18 courses that we offer in the winter semester and the summer semester, and you need to take 12 out of these core courses. More about that in a minute. And then the idea is to focus on one area, either Europe, Asia, or English-speaking countries. This is worth 30 ECTS credits. And finally, of course, the master thesis that can be written in one of these areas, but you're completely free to choose. Some words about the core courses. This is the current list of courses that we offer, and you can freely choose, as I said, 12 out of these courses. They're all in English. You find more information in the model handbook if you're interested already in learning more about what is a global operations strategy or what is international finance. You can freely choose, and all these courses cover the area of international business, international economics. You see, we have also courses in the areas of law. We have courses about business ethics and corporate social responsibility. So everything that you would expect from an international program like this. In the area, in the three areas, we offer a large amount of courses. Here again, most of them are in English, but if you want to learn or to improve your German language skills, of course, you can also take courses in other languages. But even if you don't speak any other language, you can earn all the 120 ECTS credits in courses offered in English. You can also take language courses here, up to 10 ECTS credits in the respective languages. So for instance, if you want to focus on Asia, you can learn or improve your Mandarin skills, you can learn Japanese, you can learn Korean, and so on. And the same is true, of course, for English-speaking countries and also Europe. So all in all, we have 9 different languages that you can study and that you can improve on different levels. You can also apply for an exchange semester at one of our 140 partner universities. So this makes this program even more attractive. As you can see here, more than 40 countries. Today, country 41 has been added to the list. I today only signed a contract with partner university in Indonesia. So you can see very attractive opportunities. And around 50 to 60% of the students in the program study for 1 semester, some even for 2 semesters abroad at one of our partner universities. So you can earn up to 60 ECTS credits at one of these universities, bring in the courses. And of course, that's the ideal combination. For instance, if you focus on English-speaking countries, staying abroad in the US or in Canada for 1 semester, get in-depth knowledge of this part of the world. This makes this program attractive, and this, of course, also increases your opportunities in the labor market later. One question that often arises: what happens if the corona pandemic continues? We are prepared, of course, also in this regard. In the last 2 years, we developed a very innovative and also award-winning virtual teaching program that consists of various elements. We, of course, all hope that we can teach in class for the next years or so, but just in case, we are definitely prepared. And online teaching does not only mean that we record lectures, but we have various formats in a synchronous and asynchronous way, with self-tests, with forum discussions, with live lectures, consultations, and so on. So we are definitely prepared if this would be necessary. We, of course, also like to involve you in the program. We think the program is already very good, but even good programs can be improved. So therefore, we have a quality circle. You can see here the members of the quality circle coming from various parts of the world. And two representatives of each year will be members of the quality circle. Here we discuss all issues that are relevant for you as students. And hopefully 2 of you will join this quality circle in the next year and help us to improve the program even further. Okay, some words about the application and selection process. This is maybe the most relevant part for you at the moment. First of all applications must be uploaded in the online application portal, which is called Campo. And the deadline here, and this is really a strict deadline, is May 31st. Yeah, so you have a bit more than a month to apply. And here you can upload all materials. Yeah, so no paper-based application is needed. Everything is online. And I think it's quite easy to apply and to upload all the documents that are needed. So which documents are needed and what are the selection criteria? First of all, the degree. Yeah, so you need to have a bachelor's degree in either international business or business administration, management, economics, or a related subject. And this is broadly defined. Yeah, so we know that there are very different programs around the world, and therefore there must be some contents related to business, of course. But it's not necessarily business administration or management program that you have to have. Knowledge of business, of course, is required, a minimum of 30 ECTS credits, also a minimum of statistics or business mathematics, and here the minimum is 5 ECTS credits. Then English proficiency, so required is a TOEFL test, IBT test with a minimum of 105 points, or equivalent degrees. English bachelor's degrees in non-native countries such as Germany, Pakistan, or Russia are not accepted. So only if you studied in a country like the US or UK, where English is the main language, you don't need to provide us with the TOEFL test. Then an application video must be uploaded 1 minute 30 seconds maximum, where you introduce yourself, where you state your motivation, and this is also mandatory. And finally, require that you have some international experience, because as already mentioned before, this is really an international program, and we want to bring together students with different experiences. So minimum 3 months, that could be internships, study semesters abroad in your bachelor's program, or any other stays. And language proficiency in other language than English and German is not required, but it's definitely an advantage, especially if you speak German up to a certain level just to survive in Nürnberg. Okay, that is what I wanted to tell you about the program. You see a picture here of one of the last batches. We are really looking forward to meeting you. We're looking forward to your applications. And as I said in the beginning, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact either me or my colleagues Laura Kirster and Maxim Grip, and we will be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to introduce you to our program, and all the best.
Thank you very much, Professor. Another great presentation. Again, lots of things covered, lots of questions already answered, but there are still some, again, and towards the end of our webinar, I will ask you to address them. Thank you very much. And yeah, let's move to our next presenter. And now we are moving to the very, very north. The weather is nice here, by the way. I'm also somewhere around there. So we are moving to Jade University of Applied Sciences, and our guest is Nicole Kania, and she will be talking about about the BA level program in International Business Studies. So Nicole, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so we heard previously there is a master's in International Business Studies, but yeah, maybe you don't have a bachelor's degree already, so we offer you a bachelor's degree in International Business Studies. And on behalf of our IBS team, we'd already like to thank you for attending today. Joining me is Professor Tim Nieberg, who will be happy to answer your questions in the chat. He's one of the program's directors. So we'd like to show you what it is like to study at our North Sea campus. Therefore, we'd like to shortly introduce you to our university, as well as the business faculty, and then we'll of course point out some of the aspects of our IBS program. And we will close with a short introduction to Wilhelmshaven and the student life there. What is important for you to know, of course, where we are located, we already saw it on the map. So we're based in northern Germany near the Frisian Islands, and we can take a closer look so you can see those islands I talked about. And yeah, some of the bigger cities like Bremen and Hamburg are nearby, so you can easily join them as well by train with our semester ticket. This is no problem. So Wilhelmshaven is a smaller town indeed, but with a lot of benefits, as I will show you in a bit. So before we're talking about the program itself, here's a small snippet of our main building on campus in Wilhelmshaven, just surrounded by a lot of green, as the city park is nearby, so you might take a walk in between courses. This is great for this purpose. Also, of course, bus stations nearby, so after courses you can quickly get to the coast and to the sea. On campus you can meet around 4,500 students coming from different departments such as engineering, management, information technology, and of course, our business faculty. So in talking business, let's dive deeper into our IBS program, which is a bachelor's program, and you will get the diploma Bachelors of Arts. So this is why I want to start with some general information. I just mentioned it, so the diploma you'll get is a Bachelor of Arts degree. Our application deadline is the 15th of August for international students, as you would have to apply via UniAssist. This is the only deadline we have, as our intake is only once per year for the winter semester. So there's still plenty of time to apply. The program itself is planned for 7 semesters, so by 3.5 years you could get your degree. Speaking of the application requirements, we require, of course, an university entrance qualification, and besides an English language proficiency at the Common European Framework reference of a B2 level. This is really important as our course is completely taught in English. There is a small requirement when it comes to German language proficiency, but only at an A1 level. And it isn't listed here as you don't have to submit it with your application. So you would have time until your 2nd semester. You can easily take a course in Wilhelmshaven at our university and take a test there as well. So this isn't mandatory when applying. We already talked about Wilhelmshaven, so it is an on-campus study program based at our campus in Wilhelmshaven. I'd now like to point out some of the specifics, some of the highlights regarding our study program. So it really is international business, which you can see when we're coming to the different courses that are taught. You can also check the curriculum, which you can find, of course, on our MyGermanUniversity profile, but on our website as well. Also, because it is taught entirely in English, this gives the whole program the international touch as well. And as for the other programs, we already heard a lot of international fellows that come from around the world. So you will get the chance to meet them and meet different people with a lot of different backgrounds as well. There is an international internship, which is compulsory. I will come to that in a minute as well. Besides this, so you will already study abroad when coming to Germany, but you always have the chance to do 1 or 2 semesters at another university plus. What is a specialty of our program are various specializations that you can choose from in your 5th and 6th semesters, and I will show you those on the next slide. So after your internship, basically you can choose a specialization. Here you really can choose, you do not have to. So we have 4 specializations. If you say, you want to put a focus on 1 or 2 of them, but you also have the opportunity to sort of mix and match different courses from all of the specializations. There is one specialization focusing on sustainability management, so also a very current topic we don't want to miss in our course as well. Another one is for the international economics and emerging markets. Also an important topic, like not only focusing on the European market, but those who are emerging in the future. We have another focus on business psychology, and last but not least, on digital business management. So you see all those topics are current, but also in the future, very important ones. We now have a short overview on the schedule and the whole program with the competencies that you'll acquire. So the first 3 semesters, there you'll have compulsory subjects and you'll acquire competencies in business management and economics. Those are courses like marketing, finance, accounting, tax law, and economics. Also, you'll gain methodical and analytical skills like mathematics, business, IT, and statistics, and which is also very important nowadays. And as we are in an international environment, are cultural, social, and language skills. So also a lot of soft skills that you will gain. With those skills you required or acquired in order to work also in business and what companies also need you to do, we can send you into your internship semester. It's an international internship with a minimum of 20 weeks, so you have a lot of time really to dive into your company, to get to know the company itself, and with a lot of experience that will afterwards return to the campus. We already talked about it, 5th and 6th semester. Here you have really the elective area. So with the last semesters, there you can really have an individualization. You can choose from different courses and really sharpen your individual profile. And last but not least, the final semester, of course, you will write your bachelor thesis, which takes 12 weeks. And here you have another election option. So you can either choose to go in another internship, maybe to the company where you had your first internship, but you could also choose to take another trip to another international company, gain other experience, maybe different business areas and so on. Or you could choose to do some more elective courses, maybe more language skills that you'd like to acquire, such as French or Spanish that we offer. So you really see a lot of options to have an individualization here as well. And those offers and this program itself gives you the option, the possibility to have a lot of job perspectives. Just some of those are displayed here, and really good career opportunities in the future. Of course, you could do a master's degree afterwards as well. Yeah, and then an important question, why should you choose Jade Hochschule? We just, in terms of time, give you some of the aspects that are beneficial for you. So we have a great network in education and business. Around 90 cooperations with international universities that you could choose from in order to gain other international experience and study abroad as well. We have international guest lectures and professorships, so our professors may also go abroad, but here we have this international atmosphere also coming from different lectures from around the world. And we have a lot of cooperations with not only national but international companies, which is an extreme help for you also when it comes to looking for internships, but afterwards also job perspectives. Another beneficial aspects are the practical teachings in small groups. So other than maybe in other programs where there are hundreds of students, here you really have this close relation, not only to your fellow students, but also to the lecturers, which is beneficial, of course, for both sides. So you see a lot of opportunities here that you can gain from the study program. But besides a great study program, student life is also an important factor. So we'd like to highlight some aspects here as well. We do offer, or we do have a great offer in university sports. You can see small extract here. Of course, the water-based activities are very popular at our campus. So kite surfing, for example, stand-up paddling, dragon boat, but also sailing. So you could do a sailing license as well. Yeah, and what is more to know about Wilhelmshaven? Our students are active when it comes to organizing events, such as our weekly semester parties, but also in the city itself, usually or more in the summer months when it's warmer, of course. There are open air concerts on the beach itself, so you can see in the left picture, and the so-called South Beach is displayed in the right picture because it's the only beach at the North Sea that is facing really the south. This is why it got this name. And in the middle, you can see sort of our landmark, which is the Kaiser Wilhelm Bridge. Of course, you will be provided with any assistance you need from our office. But we have a strong community from the students themselves. So we have buddy programs as well, so you won't be alone here. What is also an important factor that you can easily find an affordable apartment, room, dormitory, which isn't obvious. And we'd like to finish with some more impressions of the seaside. We have a yearly sailing cup that takes place in Wilhelmshaven. You might know those famous beach chairs from German coasts. And yeah, we're close with this nice impressions of our town. So thank you very much once again. We hope you got a good impression of what it is like to study IBS at Jade University, and feel free to contact us whenever you need more information. You can see here our email contact as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Yeah, wonderful. I liked graphics also a lot. Thank you very much. And also to Professor Nieberg, who was really quick in answering the questions. I could not even read the question and he already answered that. So thank you very much. All right, so I would like to invite everyone to the live Q&A. Actually, there are so many questions, so I'm really lost. I don't know whether we'll have time to ask all of them, but I will try my best to somehow group the questions. But let's start with the classical one, because maybe some students joined a bit later and they've been still asking the question. Some of you were really clear in terms of the language requirements, really clear, but maybe some joined later and that's why they missed. But just once again, to make it clear about the requirement, English requirement, when you are having, if you have a diploma from a English taught study program. I know that international business at FAU, they said it clearly several times in the chat as well, that you have to be from English speaking country. That's only then they will accept it. But for others, once again, to repeat, is if I have done my studies in English, not from English speaking country, is it enough for me, or do I still have to take a test? And maybe also to international business from FAU, despite the fact that you are clear, there was one specific question, maybe you saw it. The person says that I'm from Canada, but I've graduated from a French school. However, my language, native language is English. So would this person still need a test or not? Yeah, thank you for your time. Now, yeah, whoever would like to take the floor, you are welcome.
Yeah, I will be happy, of course, to answer the question. So again, if you are from an English-speaking country means a country where the national language is English, like Australia, like the US, like UK, then you don't need to prove your English language skills. Mm-hmm. In any other case, you have to provide us with a TOEFL test or an equivalent. Mm-hmm. The question about the student from Canada whose mother tongue is English is of course a tricky one. So if you have in this case, if you have any proof that your mother tongue is English, so even if you studied at a French school or French university, then this would also be okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good to know. Thank you very much.
Maybe I should emphasize 105 points really means 105 points. 104 is not enough. Yeah, so the language requirements are extremely high. Mm-hmm. Because interaction is important, and collaboration among the students is important. And this could only be achieved if you speak English very well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Professor, for being that clear. It's sometimes really necessary. Thank you very much. Nicole, maybe you could also.
Yes, sure. Mm-hmm. So, of course, TOEFL IELTS is accepted as well. But if you have a diploma from an English-speaking high school, this would also be possible. But those are more individual questions that would be checked during the application process. But yeah, feel free to ask us whenever there are more questions concerning this.
Okay, thank you very much. And Professor Rincke?
So yeah, so the language regarding the what is an English language, proof, same thing as my colleague Dirk Holtbrügge told you, and otherwise you just have to provide the typical test, but we accept all of them like TOEFL and equivalents at the in our case I think it's the B2 level. So and German doesn't play any role in our program, so there's not even a minimum requirement.
Okay, thank you very much to all of you. Let me move also to another question. So it was mentioned that the application are mostly online or purely online, right? So there's no need for hard copies to be provided, but often happens that after the admission, they need to provide hard copies or certified copies of the documents when they come to Germany. Is it also the case in case of your programs, or just online application and that's enough? So Professor Rincke, let's start with you.
So this is a new system that was newly established at FAU, and to the best of my knowledge, it's totally online based, and so even after admission, you don't have to provide any paperwork anymore. So that's really okay. Reducing the burden of application and getting started a lot, I think.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes, I may answer. So as international students need to apply via UniAssist, they might ask for hard copies. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, FAU, already answered for both, so that's why we can move forward. Let me now ask you each specific question to all of your programs that I collected. To Professor Rincke first, I would say. So you mentioned a solid background in quantitative subjects. Could you please elaborate more on what do you mean by solid? Is there any exact numbers of ECTS that you ask for?
No, there's no minimum requirement specifically. With solid, I mean that if you want to study economics at an international level, you shouldn't be afraid to handle numbers. That is basically the idea, right? If in school or during your studies you experienced issues and problems whenever things become mathematical, then this is not the right program for you, the economics program, because this is formal, this is theory based, and we use a lot of mathematical methods. So this means sound background, and I think intuitively you shouldn't be afraid to handle stuff like this math based. And then the more you do of that and the more you have on your transcript in terms of your bachelor's education, the higher will be your score in the admission system. And so each additional credit that is math based or statistics based will increase your score.
Okay, thank you very much. And Nicole, one question to you as well. And it was actually answered by Professor Dr. Nieberg, but it's a nice question to know also for everyone, I would say. So is there local admission, do you have any local admission restriction for your program? So it's called numerus clausus, I think.
Yes, so no, there isn't one. So we have the admission requirements I earlier mentioned, but there is no numerus clausus.
Okay. Yes, please, Professor.
I should mention that the only admission requirement we have on top of general admission is also the English language B2.
Okay.
So if you have a general university admission diploma from your home country, that's typically checked by UniAssist. But on top of that, we only require basic level B2 English language.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. Thank you very much. And for those who are not sure what UniAssist mean, just quickly, I would say that some programs are using UniAssist as a medium between you and the program. So UniAssist is just checking the formalities. If everything is fine, all documents are handed over correctly, in the right shape, maybe correctly translated and certified. So they do not make decision about your acceptance, but they are very important, because if you don't deliver documents correctly, your documents will not reach the place. So be careful with that. And yeah. So, and actually this numerous clauses question is quite interesting to ask maybe our the two speakers as well, whether do you have any local admission restrictions on your programs? Professor Holtbrügge?
No, so the criteria are the ones that I mentioned earlier, and that's all. Yeah, and it's the same for both programs.
Okay, and one more question to you, because you specifically mentioned 2.5 GPA. Regarding the English certificate, you said that by 105 TOEFL, we mean 105. Do you mean also by 2.5 GPA strictly 2.5?
No, that's not such a strict barrier or threshold. It really depends on the overall picture of the applicant. So okay. If you have, for instance, other criteria, if you have other things to mention in the application, for instance, extended international experience or so, this could compensate for a not so good grade. But I should mention that we get really a large number of applications, and the application process is really competitive.
Yeah, good to know. Thank you. And regarding the GPAs, is there any strict, because Professor Rincke didn't mention specifically a specific number of GPA. So is there specific minimum that you would ask, or it is not that important in this case for bachelor studies? Yeah.
Sorry, did you ask me about that? Or?
Yeah, I mean, GPA for bachelor studies, is it important?
Yeah. So there is a minimum number in our requirements, but that's really that low that, you know, I think it's 2.9 or something.
Okay.
So in the end, the better your GPA, and that has a big weight in our scoring system. That makes you more likely to get admitted. But the minimum requirement is at a level that, you know, for most people won't be relevant in our program's case.
Okay. Yeah, good to know. Again, one small clarification to those who are not very much familiar with German GPA. It's strange. So 1 is the best one, 4 is very bad one. So it's upside down when you compare to some other GPAs, so that you know 2.9 is not a high one when it comes to German GPAs. So be careful with that, guys. When you see these GPAs, always transfer it to your system. Okay, and let me ask you then last question, and we can call it a day, the general one also, but it is regarding the deadlines. So some specific deadlines were mentioned, and there are sometimes deadlines are not the same for everyone. For example, for non-EU students, because they have to take care of visa issues, sometimes deadlines are much earlier. So is it the case in case of your programs, or the deadlines are the same for all students? Let's start with Nicole.
So we have 2 deadlines, but the one being later, like 15th of September, is only for those with the German university entrance qualification. And for all other countries, is the 15th of August.
Okay, so even by other EU countries, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very much. Professor Holtbrügge?
Yeah, so application deadline is the last day of May for all students. And the reason is that many students need visa, of course, need housing and so on. And we made the experience in the past years that this takes quite a while. And to be able to start with the program really in October, this is very important. We aim to respond to all applicants within the first 3 weeks after the application deadline. Yeah, so you will be informed end of June at latest, so that you have enough time to prepare yourself for the program.
Okay, thank you. And Professor Rincke?
Yeah, same on our side. So this is a system that works at FAU level. So no differences to what my colleague told you.
Okay. And okay, let me now really ask you last question, because I've received from Facebook also, they know that we are having webinar, one question, which is really interesting, I think. So the question is actually to all programs relevant. So it's not that much about the age of the applicant, but the last diploma, how much time. For example, this person says, okay, I have completed my bachelor 8 years ago. Will be a problem to apply for one of the master's programs. And for Nicole, it would be if the person completed the school, let's say 10 years ago, and now she or he wants to come to your to bachelor at your program. Would be a problem, this kind of gap.
No.
Let's start with
Sorry. No, this wouldn't be a problem. So a larger time gap for the university entrance qualification, usually not. You have when you have those language tests, sometimes there is displayed that it is only due 1 year. So this could be an issue, but for the university entrance qualification, no.
Okay, good, great. Thank you very much. Professor Rincke?
No, there's no formal rule applying to that case. So if somebody feels fit, we don't discriminate on that ground.
Great. I suppose the same is from.
Yeah, same answer from my side. As I said earlier, we aim for a diverse group of students, and students with work experience, of course, are more than welcome to apply.
Amazing. Thank you very much to all of you for these answers, and thank you, for our guests, our attendees. They have been very active and stayed with us until the end, most of them. Thank you very much for watching. I know there are some more questions. If there are more specific questions to one of the program representatives or the programs in general, you are more than welcome to text them. They all showed you their contact details, and also if you have any general questions regarding studying in Germany, you can also text us. Here is our email, info@mygermanuniversity.com, and one of our team members will get back to you as soon as possible. So and I would also like to hear a feedback from your side. It would be nice to see what were your concerns, what would you like to improve for the future, so you can leave feedback to us on our Facebook or Google pages. Always welcome, and I always monitor that, and we react always accordingly. So thank you once again to all our guests for these wonderful presentations, for answering questions in a complete manner. I enjoyed the webinar, and I'm sure that many students, some of the students from here will be the ones whose application you will see in the future. Thank you very much, and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Thanks. See you guys. Bye-bye.